guts, or a lot of the guts for the networking of. GConMan is the global instantiation of this GConMan interface. So in net processing, that's kind of like one layer up on the stack from net. Basically, net pulls on sockets and then reads information off of sockets, throws it into various attributes of the C node instances that we keep track of, and net processing then picks these up in another thread and kind of renders those messages into actions, whether that's calling into various functions or sending various P2P messages. So yeah, like I said, validation specific data is maintained per node using C node state. And basically, if you open net processing.cpp, you're going to find one giant function called process message, which is basically a case statemented way of handling every single P2P message. So when we receive, for example, a block message, that basically translates into a call on process new block in the validation module, and so on and so forth. So peers are also penalized here based on bad behavior. So you can grep for misbehaving to see all the various cases where we're keeping track of bad behavior. So if someone keeps spamming us invalid blocks, obviously we want to disconnect them at some point. Validation handles modifying in-memory data structures for chain state and transactions on the basis of certain acceptance rules. So if you really want to get to the spirit of what Bitcoin considers valid, validation maybe obviously kind of contains that information. It defines some of the data structures that track this information, C chain state and map block index, and it contains procedures for validating check block. Oddly enough, it also contains some utility functions that do things like marshal data to and from disk and populate the mempool based on some safe state. It turns out that validation is actually the vestige of a giant file called main.cpp that got split into net processing and validation maybe 2 years ago. And of course, it has the instantiation of CS main. So this is a little diagram just kind of showing how validation relates to the other regions here. So it has this chain state object that basically holds both the map block